Hi guys, and welcome back to part 8 of my camper trailer makeover series. Well, it's been about a year since I bought old cousin Eddie, and I think it's about time that I address a few issues before we take it out for our first camping trip of the year. So the first items I'm going to tackle this year are the corner seals. Last year I just sealed these up with multiple layers of tape just to get us through the season, as it was pretty late in the year and we were really wanting to get out and use the camper. I start by unscrewing the factory aluminum molding just to get it out of my way. Then I start removing as much of the tape as I can. The tape held up quite well and did a great job of keeping the camper watertight. I had some new metal corner pieces made up at a local metal roofing company, and I'm going to seal it off with a good flexible exterior sealant. I'm just notching the metal along the curves to follow the shape of the camper as best I can, using metal roofing screws to attach it. Well, that's one corner done, 3 more to go. Once I have the corner attached, I make another pass with the sealant to ensure all the edges are well sealed. Well, I think those turned out a lot better than the duct tape. A little less embarrassing. Yep, quite happy with that. Now let's head inside and do something about storage. Okay, so what we're going to look at in here is I'd like to do a little bit of storage up on top of the window here. I imagine there was something here originally when the camper was made, but that's all long gone. So I'm going to build a little something for us there. And above the microwave here, I might do a little something there. We noticed the last few times we went camping that we were pretty limited on storage. We can hide a lot of stuff under the bed once it's flipped down, so that's where all of our clothes and stuff would go. But when we were camping, a lot of our paper towels and food and stuff was just sitting on top of the microwave or over here on this counter. So we'd like to be able to hide a few things. So I'm gonna see what I can build out of some scrap wood that I have. So for the large shelf above the table, I'm using a few pieces of leftover white shelving. This is going to be a permanent shelf, so I'm attaching it directly to the wall and ceiling. The idea here is just to have one long shelf with a door that swings upward and closes with little catches to hold it closed while driving. And a few little handles left over from some kitchen cupboards, and it's done. And And now for the area above the fridge, I decided to move the microwave out to fit a larger cupboard. I decided to put it on the little nightstand under the TV. Probably not the ideal spot for it, but it fits and frees up the other area. So I had this storage shelf sitting in my shed, left over from my old house. I decided to take the legs off and use the top cabinet. Now I could see the cabinet was too wide and would interfere with the bed folding up, so I took it out to the shop to cut a few inches off. Now while I could shorten the shelf, I wasn't able to trim the doors down, so instead I opted to make a single door from a small piece of plywood. With this little cabinet installed, I painted it dark gray to match the rest of the camper. This should do just fine to store some of our things. Okay, so we're about to take the camper out today. We're going to go to Quishapaquack again for the weekend. And before we go, I just wanted to do a quick little adjustment on it. You can see right down here I added a trailer hitch last year, and that is to put my bike rack in. So we made a trip to, I think it was Fundy last year with the bikes, and when we were coming back, because this arm is so far back and the weight of the bikes are even further back, there was just so much torque on that little thin walled tubing bumper, so it ended up tearing the welds on the back of the hitch. So I'm going to bend that back in place and straighten the bumper a little bit, and I'm going to add a piece of tubing from the bumper to the first cross member to reinforce that. And I was curious, but it turns out I can just barely fit the camper into my garage. There's an air vent up there that we can't see, that won't come in, but I think if I took it off I could get the whole camper in here, which is good to know in the winter time if I want to do some more work. Well, I wouldn't brag about any of those welds, but that seems like a pretty good reinforcement there. I also fixed the welds that had torn a little bit. The tubing had broken down. It's pretty thin tubing. I don't think this would be much of a bumper in an accident. But there it is. We've got our bike rack put back on. Like I said, we're heading out today, so we're going to see how that goes. Well, we're all loaded up for the first trip of the year. We're gonna head off to Quishapaquack. Wish us luck. So our camping trip went great, and all of our new modifications came in really handy. I'm looking forward to getting out a few more times this summer. Well, that's it for this update video. Don't forget to follow Cousin Eddie the Camper on Instagram. If you haven't caught the rest of this series, you should check it out now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more of the projects I'm working on, I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel. And as always, see you in the next one.